today's world, there are these pleasures that we have a necessity to almost fulfill. You know, we go home, we play video games, we watch TV shows, we watch YouTube videos just to keep our mind busy and to keep our mind a specific kind of enjoyment in there. However, it can kind of go too far sometimes. People go, do other things such as do activities that are dangerous. They'll do things that are dangerous to their health. And one of these things includes vaping. It is in one of those categories that includes smoking. And one of these things I want to go through are the health concerns, the effects, and what we have to look for into the future. Now, the first things first, it could be an introduction to other tobacco products. Some people, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, on June 12, 2019, some people actually reported that they are 7 times more likely to start smoking cigarettes. The ones that you hold by your hand, the ones that are plastic, the ones that you roll up, the ones that you put in your mouth, you light it up, they're more likely to smoke those after you vape, after a month of doing that. It's even more dangerous now. Because this is the gateway drug, we're gonna have more people doing more dangerous stuff, more people dying, more kids having their health taken away from them. Another thing, it exposes their lungs to dangerous chemicals such as formaldehyde and diacetyl. Diacetyl is related to a very rare lung disease called bronchiolitis obliterans, I think. Sorry if I pronounced that a little bit wrong. Now, for these kids, if they're gonna be dealing with these health issues at such a young age, such as 12, 13, 14, they can have long-lasting effects in their adult life. Back then, in the future, they're gonna have to go to their job, they're gonna have to go to this job interview, they're gonna have to go to work, and they're gonna have sticky teeth, they're gonna have lungs that don't work, they're gonna have to go to the hospital. It's crazy. However, another thing that also happens, it hinders their brain development. At such a young age, doing drugs like this can actually halt their learning process, can actually halt their development, can actually halt how they learn and how fast they learn and how well they learn. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a good thing to know. And if you do know this, you shouldn't be letting kids vaping. It's why we should ban e-flavored cigarettes. Another thing, it could lead to insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes. Those two things don't mix well together because you need insulin in order to cure or treat that type 2 diabetes. So if you have insulin resistance, it's not gonna go well for you. Now, according to the New York Times Post, there are 5 confirmed deaths in 33 states on September 9th, 2019. This means that this could reach another area, an effect that is larger than even cigarettes back then. Because back then in the 1950s, 1960s, people were smoking. People were putting their hands in their mouths. People were putting this little this little paper thing in their mouths. They were lighting it up, and kids were doing it. And everybody thought it was okay. People in movies smoked real cigarettes. There's stuff like the Jetsons, the Flintstones, that actually had commercials for these cigarettes. Now, we know that cigarettes are dangerous. They didn't know that back then, but we know that e-cigarettes are even dangerous right now. So we can't be letting them doing this. Because if we do, it's gonna be into another epidemic. We don't wanna do this again. We don't wanna see this tragedy happen again of people dying, of kids dying, affected by this evil sort of thing. We do know that teenage smoking cigarettes has dropped down 70% from 2000, which is another reason why we shouldn't let it go up once again. Once they start smoking these vaping, once they start putting this e-cigarette in their mouth, they might smoke cigarettes. They might smoke more cigarettes, which means that percentage is gonna go higher and higher and higher. More deaths are gonna occur, more health issues. It's not gonna look well for this country. It's not gonna look well for this youth population. This is why e-cigarettes are dangerous. This is why I think they should be banned.
Okay.